Hello everybody, this is Gareth Cahoon Speaks back here with another video. I'd like you to hit the subscribe bar, give me a thumbs up if you like the video, or hit the notification bell to be notified when I post my next post. Or otherwise you can donate to my ministry and the charities that I support at garethcahoon3@gmail.com on PayPal. This one here, or else you can look me up also on YouTube and X, and especially in YouTube because you'll be able to see the videos that get banned on most other places. And you can also look at my created playlists and my last added videos and the previously added videos to see the content that I watch when I'm not posting on YouTube, TikTok, and X myself. And I share Israel news, American news, world news, Christian news, Jewish news. You'll find it all there. This one here. If you criticize a Muslim candidate, you're criticizing Islam and you're Islamophobic. You may want to think twice about expressing concern or criticism of one of the many Muslim candidates running for public office throughout America, Europe, Canada, and the world, because you might be called an Islamophobe. That's right, a clever safety net has been set up to protect these individuals from any incoming faith, fault finding, or negative assessment someone might be tempted to make. On the eve of the Democratic Mexican candidate Alderman Mohammed El Said's primary win, far left socialist influencer and streamer Hassan Piker made an expletive laden statement calling those who didn't vote for El Sayed unbelievable Islamophobic pieces of S dash 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 dash, claiming that El Said was called a terrorist for months on end. Piker angrily attacked members of the Democratic Party, reminding them that if they want to win, they have to support him in the November elections. Of course, Piker is alluding to what he believes are the reservations by some voters about supporting an individual who has expressed blatantly anti American, anti Israel sentiments. Drawing on those concerns with Brianna Lyman, elections correspondent for the Federalist, who appeared on Wednesday evening's Fox News at night, commenting, Abdul El Said is beyond criticism. You can't criticize him for his socialist policies. You can't criticize him for hanging out with Hassan Piker, who said America actually deserved 9/11. All criticism is beyond the pale, and if you dare to wade into criticism, you're an Islamophobe. It reminds me of the same religious loyalty test that Zora Mandami imposed on Kumo a few months ago when he said that Kumo was basically unfit to be mayor because he couldn't name a mosque had he had been to. If you take both of these things together, it goes to show you are the problem of mass migration. There was time there was a time in America when if someone was actively campaigning with someone who said America deserved 9/11, that candidate would no longer exist as a candidate. They would have to be removed from the ticket. But now we have imported so many third world Muslims that they shut down legitimate criticism of El Said campaigning with a person who says America deserved 9/11 by calling people Islamophobic and by pointing it out. That's a real problem. Of course, none of this is new, it's just an effective strategy borrowed from the grievance playbook of victimhood. It accounts for Massachusetts Congressman Seth Moulton's apology for saying, I have two little girls. I don't want them getting run over on a playing field by a male or formerly male athlete. But as a Democrat, I'm supposed to be afraid to say that. Oh, after all, he wouldn't want to be called transphobic. It's also why other prominent figures have walked back sincerely held opinions and feelings on taboo subjects such as homosexuality, transgenderism, climate change, vaccines, Islam, all constituting the third rail of political debate. Dare to disagree with any of the socially held positions, and you run the risk of having the phobia, the phobia ending attached to whatever it is you don't like. Never mind that the word phobia is defined as an extreme, intense, and irrational fear of a specific object, place, animal, or situation. A type of anxiety disorder where the threat level perceived by the person is much higher than the actual danger. Today, it is associated with bigotry, intolerance, narrow mindedness, discrimination, and prejudice. By assigning one of those labels to you, the actual fear becomes not accepting whatever society tells you that you must accept. Questioning or suggesting that particular subject is problematic or not consistent with your own personally held values can ruin your good name in a moment. Constantly, the phobia ending is a type of coercive silence, and when it works well to nail any hesitancy meant to intimidate, there must be a full acceptance of whatever is being represented as good, unquestionable, fair, and absolute. This especially works well for democratic, socialist, and Muslim political candidates who espouse anti Israel and anti American sentiments. Ironically, though, it is not a two-way street. Conservative Americans, Jews, and Christians are not afforded the same no criticism privilege, a right only reserved for minorities and those pushing very controversial, non mainstream ideologies. Americans are no longer permitted to question the lack of patriotism by progressives who have nothing good to say about America, nor can they criticize the raising of foreign flags to display loyalty towards a terrorist country. Leaning the, Learning the native language of one's new country isn't imperative, not even when it involves obtaining a commercial driver's license. The move to erase all cultural lines, replacing them with more dominant voices of Islam, is an undeniable way of taking hold of the country, which one represented a bastion of freedom ready to embrace those who embrace it. But those days are over. America and the world are quickly being forced to learn that they will no longer be asked. They will be told, most importantly, if they dare to challenge what is being put forward by those now taking charge, they will suffer damage and repercussions to their name and their rights. Just look at how El Said recently threatened fellow Democrat John Fetterman, who is a fiercely loyal Israeli advocate. Facing backlash from within his own party, Abdul Al Said, while campaigning, said, "If I win, will you all came at me, so now I get to come at you, and you know primarily people like John Fetterman. I have no problem to do that. Ideally, you put on one ogre on a pike, and then everyone else gets the message, and all of a sudden starts to sound a lot different." Come back for part 2 of this post in the next video. Shalom, Maranatha, and Hallelujah.